Hi, it's Walter McKenzie, and thank you for being in the moment. This month on The Worthy Educator, our focus is on Principle 7 of our Principles of Educator Agency and Efficacy. The focus is on respect, and we align this specifically with this month's push to celebrate educators who have outstanding long-term professional relationships. And I'd like to tie that all in my reflection today. Times are really tough. It's February 2025, and things are happening, and they're happening faster and going in directions we did not want things to go in education. And we can post memes and news stories and comments about other people who don't share our values, and we don't know why they think the way they do. And I understand it's a coping mechanism, and it feels good to find others that respond and like and share what we post. But we do those things out of frustration and anger and a sense of hopelessness. And we could choose to do something different. And in the spirit of respect and relationships, I want to talk about what we can do for ourselves. We can't control all these other things going on, but we can treat each other with more respect and find safety and solace and sustenance in our professional relationships with each other. It's an alternative to acting out and just responding in reflex to everything that seems so out of control right now that just doesn't make sense to us. I'm watching too many educators using one another, climbing over the remains of train wrecks of attempted relationships to keep trying to get out of their situation. It's not a formula for success if you're trying to get ahead. Instead, we can start looking at each other as a source of sanity and stability. And to be clear, I'm appealing to actual educators. I understand all of the other influences that have entered public ed, and some of them are wonderful allies in the work. Keep your wits about you, trust your instincts. Don't let your guard down for just anybody who happens to be handy and convenient. But with like-minded educators, we're all in the same boat. We understand our common circumstances better than anybody else, and we all want things to get better. This is why the Worthy Educator is focusing on relationships this month, and why we aligned it with Principle 7 on respect. When you respect someone or something, you don't use or abuse them. It's easy to give into the disillusionment of where we are. I feel it too. But if we really want a way out, we need to let go of that disappointment and fear and anger and change how we're responding. When approaching or even reapproaching colleagues, be open to the possibilities of a more trusting, mutually beneficial relationship without any strings attached. Willingly give of yourself with the spirit of paying forward what others have done for you. Reach out with caring, expressing empathy and understanding until it eventually becomes understood between you that you're there for each other. Form a trusting bond where you both relinquish judgment and control to create a safe space together. And allow yourself to be vulnerable in both sharing and receiving feedback from your counterpart. When you read our Edge Friends stories, they read like testimonials for what healthy, positive relationships can look like and how they can serve us across the span of our careers. They're really inspiring. No two are alike. We can all do this. Long-term, thriving professional relationships don't solve all the world's problems, but they're a surprisingly effective antidote to the culture of cynicism and alienation surrounding us in society. And they allow us to grow in spite of all the things that we feel are holding us back. And so in this reflection, I hope you'll go to our Edge of Friends page, read the blog post on respect following up with this, and think about this. What do you have control over? And what you have control over most imminently are those relationships you hold close. And if in my descriptions you recognize the trail of attempts behind you, trying to have trusting, healthy, worthwhile relationships professionally, and realizing that it's been a mess It's not you, it's just the society we're living in right now, and it's hard. But when you find even that one person that you can really rely on, who makes you feel like you're okay, it can be okay, and together you will be okay, then everything else kind of finds its place and its perspective, and you don't feel so overwhelmed and so willing to lash out in anger and frustration. It's healthy. It's good for you. It will give you a longer life, even outside of education, if you don't simply allow yourself to wallow in everything we're all feeling. And so that's my reflection for Principle 7. Um, be glad to talk with you. Uh, Love to listen, love to offer support, and you need to know someone is there. The biggest enemy we have is isolation, and its biggest accomplice is hopelessness. So thank you for being in the moment.